It started as an ordinary morning. You woke up, stretched, and went through your daily routine without a second thought. The same coffee, the same commute, the same mundane routine. But today, something felt different. You couldn't quite put your finger on it, but the air carried a strange weight. It was subtle, like an unseen presence just outside your peripheral vision. As you stepped out of your apartment, a shiver ran down your spine. Instinct told you that something or someone was watching. You glanced over your shoulder. The street looked normal. People rushed to work. Cars honked impatiently, and the world moved on as if nothing was wrong. But something was wrong. At the subway station, you spotted a man in a dark coat, standing a few feet away. He wasn't doing anything suspicious, just scrolling through his phone. But as you boarded the train, you noticed him following. Your pulse quickened. Maybe it was just a coincidence. You brushed it off, convinced yourself you were overthinking, until it happened again. At the cafe where you grabbed your morning coffee, the same man appeared, lingering just outside. You stared at him through the reflection of the glass window. He wasn't even trying to be discreet anymore. Your heartbeat pounded in your ears. Who was he, and why was he following you? You hurried back to work, but the unease gnawed at you. You sat at your desk, typing away, but your mind was elsewhere. Every time you glanced up, you half expected to see the dark-coated figure standing outside. Then an email popped up on your screen. We need to talk. Now. There was no sender's name, just a time and location. A small cafe downtown at exactly 7 p.m. You stare at the screen, your breath shallow. Whoever this was, they weren't asking. As evening approached, the tension in your chest tightened. Your mind played out every worst-case scenario. Was this some sort of elaborate prank? Had you unknowingly uncovered something you weren't supposed to? The thought that you were in some kind of danger now seemed less like paranoia and more like a terrifying reality. At exactly 7 p.m., you stepped into the dimly lit cafe. The scent of freshly brewed coffee mixed with the faint aroma of old books. The place was nearly empty, except for one table. And there he was, the man in the dark coat. Up close, he looked ordinary. No menacing scars, no dark sunglasses, just an average face. But his presence carried an unsettling weight. "Sit," he said, his voice firm but calm. You hesitated. Every nerve in your body screamed at you to run, but curiosity, or maybe fear, kept you rooted to the spot. You sat. He slid a small envelope across the table. Your fingers trembled as you picked it up. Inside was a single photograph. Your breath caught in your throat. It was you, taken that morning, just as you left your apartment. A cold dread spread through your veins. This wasn't random. This was personal. "Who are you?" you whispered. The man exhaled slowly. "You've been chosen." Your mind reeled. "Chosen? For what?" "You think your life is ordinary," he continued. "You wake up, go to work, live the same routine every day. But there's something you don't know." He leaned in, his voice barely above a whisper. "Someone sent me to follow you, to watch you, to see if you're ready." "Ready for what?" you demanded, gripping the photograph so tightly your knuckles turned white. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he pulled out a small card and placed it in front of you. It had only 3 words. "Trust the process." The air around you felt thick, suffocating. Every part of your brain screamed at you to demand answers, to get up and leave, to do something. But deep down, you already knew this was only the beginning. Your fingers trembled as they hovered over the small card. "Trust the process." The words echoed in your mind, cryptic yet heavy with meaning. Your pulse hammered against your ribs. Every instinct told you to walk away, to pretend this never happened. But something about the man's unwavering gaze told you that once you had stepped into this moment, there was no turning back. You swallowed hard. "Who sent you?" The man studied you for a long moment, then finally spoke. "You did." The world around you seemed to freeze. The hum of the cafe, the clinking of cups, the faint chatter. It all faded into the background. "What?" you whispered, shaking your head. "That's impossible." He leaned back, folding his hands on the table. "Not the you sitting here right now. the you from the future. A nervous laugh escaped your lips. Okay, this is insane. I know it sounds like that, he said, his tone measured, patient. But listen to me very carefully. You think your life is just an ordinary routine. But what if I told you it was all leading to something? That every decision you've made, every failure, every hardship, was pushing you toward a moment where you would have to make a choice. A cold shiver crawled up your spine. A choice for what? The man exhaled slowly. To wake up. Your eyes darted around the cafe. Everything felt normal. Yet his words sent an unease deep into your bones. You're not here by accident, he continued. You were meant to see me today. To question why. To realize that your life has been running on autopilot. Someone, something, has been keeping you asleep, making you believe you're just another person in the crowd. You gripped the edge of the table. Why would my future self send you? His lips pressed into a thin line. Because something is coming. And the only way to survive it is to start paying attention. Your breath hitched. Survive what? He pulled out his phone and turned it towards you. A video played on the screen, grainy security footage. The timestamp was from 2 days ago. You saw yourself walking down a busy street. Nothing unusual. Until the moment your image flickered. Not the video. You, for a fraction of a second, it was as if your body had glitched, your form distorting, splitting. And then, just as quickly, it corrected itself. You felt the blood drain from your face. What the hell is that? That's what we're trying to figure out, he said. It's happening to people all over the world. And every single one of them has a choice to make. 1,000 thoughts clashed in your head. And if I don't choose? The man's expression darkened. Then you stay asleep. You live your life just as you have, believing it's all normal. But one day, when it's too late, you'll realize you were never really in control. Your hands clenched into fists. Fear gripped you, but beneath it, something else stirred, determination. You took a deep breath. What do I have to do? The man nodded, as if he had been waiting for this moment. He slid another envelope across the table. Inside was a single piece of paper, an address, a date, and a final message. Everything changes in 7 days. Be ready. As you looked up, the man was already gone. The only thing left behind was the weight of the decision before you. And deep down, you knew nothing would ever be the same again.